This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenrail radio playlist. zenrailclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone could podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so expect like infinite backgrounds like this from now on. There's something wrong with Discord. I don't know what's going on. But like looking back, it's weird to see that like other people have had the exact same issue and yet still nobody's fixing it. But you did say it's like a free
I think that's
platform.
free thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Like nobody's like hired to fix this thing. Okay, before I get into
Or maybe it's like there's different levels of urgency and what to work on.
yeah, true. Yeah, facts. But it's weird that it's like a background. Like, wouldn't people have like background filters that you?
Because I don't. The thing is, like, I
Yeah.
think it's not for everybody, right? It's like I
Okay.
don't know how much of a percentage is.
Oh, or actually using the background filter?
No, or like we're having the issue, then having to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Then go into that to find out what the specific issues, because it's not an issue on my side, right?
Right. So it's not like universal. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, this is a great segue. But speaking of bugs, what was the Microsoft thing that happened like yesterday? It was crazy. But
Well,
like nothing
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Like nothing happened on my end.
No, it's not really a Microsoft per se. It was just like, I think it's a cloud company, Cloud Strike or something, their name. And I think they sent an update that caused that issue.
And so like anybody who used that cloud software thing,
Yeah.
they're just like done.
Not done, just they had to fix it. Like a fix with another update or fix with going back to the other older update.
Okay. Yeah, I was expecting like like when I logged on Friday, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll be the only one working because, you know, like I have the Mac computer, but then like everyone else is online. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I guess
It
it didn't
depends.
really hit.
Yeah, it depends if that server or those companies use that
Or
server.
being, yeah.
It
okay,
happened
that makes sense.
to Thivius thing. They couldn't use.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, they could use their computers. It's just those servers, specific thing to the server.
Oh, okay,
Or
okay.
the cloud server, whatever it was. Yeah.
Then
Whatever
why
they
were
do.
some people getting like a blue screen kind of thing?
It because if it's related to that computer itself, I guess. Right.
Oh, like they're running the platform from the server kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know the specifics. All I know is just like it's not like a malware attack or anything like that. It was just an update issue.
Yeah, it's a weird bug. Yeah. But it's all fixed now. We're like good to go.
I think so. They were saying it's going to be because I think Porter Airlines had to delay all their flights till after the noon. I don't know if they extended their delays or not, but that was the thing in the morning. They canceled all their flights till noon time.
Okay.
So a lot of American. I think it may have been fixed by now. I think it was like a 24-hour, 48-hour kind of fix. If it is the longest thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's interesting. It's so funny because we were like when we were kids, what was that? Not 9/11. 2000 Y2K.
Y2K. Yeah. I saw some memes for that.
That's yeah.
Is this the Y2K?
Actually, yeah, right. The Y2K of this era. Quick pause because I just realized that I didn't switch.
Yeah, you got
to
choppy
the LAN.
just there.
Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, and we're back. So yeah, we were both saying how, you know, so you were seeing memes about the Y2K issue,
Yeah.
and like I was really thinking like when I saw that in the morning, I was like, oh, this didn't happen in 2000, but it's happening now. Like it's kind of weird.
It's just I think it was like it's the issue with using only one, I guess, one company, one,
Yeah, 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 totally.
right?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
So
There's like no redundancy, so it's like if that one goes down, what's the backup to that one?
yeah, that's
Mhm.
like these are the claims why cash will need to still exist
Oh,
because it
oh,
affects
cash,
banks
cash. I thought
like
I
cash
thought
like
you were saying
money,
like
like
cachet, like.
no, like cash like money.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, dude, do you remember like I think it was last year when the all Rogers
The
was down?
Rogers thing, yeah, that affected
Yeah,
that thing too. Yeah.
yeah. So, shout out Arvel. Remember he was like, "Oh, I can't take like card. I was
hmm
like only doing cash." And I was like, "Dude, who uses cash, bro?"
Yeah.
But it's weird. Like we really do have, but these are like the lessons of if you did move to a fully digital system. I mean, there are great aspects of it, but at the same time, you need some hard code hardware, you
Yeah,
know?
that's the thing. Like, there, I don't think cash will ever go away
Yeah, totally agree.
if these are
I mean, like I
issues.
wouldn't have agreed before, but like now that these things are starting to happen, you're seeing these bugs, and it's like it's not even like every 10 years or something. It's like literally this happened last year, and then
hmm
now this issue. But yeah. Um, okay. So I wanted to ask you anything else about the tech thing before we move on?
That's all I knew. I think, yeah, it wasn't like
Okay,
a,
cool.
it was a big
So nothing
thing,
like
but it was
no cyber attack. But imagine
no
if it was a
cyber
cyber
attack.
attack though. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that's what the what's what I like. I guess jumped to, but and then listening to the radio, like it's just an update issue,
No, no, right, for sure.
right?
But it's like this was an error on our side. But imagine if there was a cyber attack. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
we'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
done.
I mean,
Like,
like,
what are we
yeah,
doing?
but like even simple things like this can affect that company now, right? Their stocks dropped,
Oh, for
so
sure. Yeah, totally,
they're
totally.
probably looking at other options or having redundancies. So that's not good for them.
Yeah, definitely, definitely not good for them. Yeah. All right. So, I I'm wondering. All right. So it's been a week since the less than a week actually, because the assassination attempt happened like Sunday.
hmm
So, okay, we've had a week to process it, and I'm gonna go on record and say that I think the West is cooked. We're done, bro. The reason why I say this is because the the one not caring about it is wild to me.
hmm
And two, the amount of people that saw it but say it's faked, that's crazy too. And then like Biden getting COVID during this time and then him being old. I saw something about like Obama being like, "Oh yeah, I think it's like he should drop out." And then I was like, "Oh, that's weird." Like, why are we head to head with two old people? One got an assassination attempt. You saw all of those like with the Secret Service thing, like I was sending you all those like videos of like the incompetence on that side. Like when you think of like a Secret Service agent, even for myself, I'm like, oh, you'd be like highly trained. Like
hmm
you would expect that they would have some insane military capabilities, right? Like I'm learning right across from you, I'm learning from GN Funker Tactical. And then like his system, it's like, okay, well, this is a very serious system, and I'm like trying to learn it. And then I'm like, shouldn't they all be at this level? Like minimum, you're a freaking Secret Service agent, bro.
hmm
All right, let's tackle these one at a time. So let's start with that one. What do you think about the Secret Service thing? Do you think it's like, okay, that's fine, or do you think it's like this is weird incompetence going on, or
Uh,
it may be the equality thing that has been going around, where it's like you're
well, it
trying to keep
depends
it.
on which videos you watch, right? Yeah,
Okay,
there's that specific one. I know which one, the fumbling one, trying to put her.
what are we doing, bro?
I saw that
Oh,
one, but then I saw another one where it's like putting in Avengers music on the one girl that actually knows what she was doing.
okay.
The one that was leading him to the door, closing the door. I don't know if you saw that person.
No, no, I didn't see that
So she was
person.
like right in the middle of those videos. This is the middle
Oh, that's
person.
interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Do you see the picture of the one Secret Service agent cowering behind everyone else who is sheltering like Trump?
Yeah, I don't like. Again, that's a still image, right?
True, true. She could have been like running towards
But
it,
again, yeah,
maybe.
there's another video of that same person when they go to the hospital. How she's acting too.
Oh, is she like nervous?
The way she is, you know what? It reminds me, like I think when I saw her, it reminded me of Melissa McCarthy's, like when she like cop movies, like how she's like.
Who's Melissa McCarthy?
Isn't that her? Like the like Sandra Bullock and her like in a cop movie.
Oh, yeah,
Is that her name?
I don't know her name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So you thought
She
she was
reminded
like,
me of her. Yeah. So like,
and this is embarrassing. It's like not just internally, but the rest of the world's watching this. You're seeing like China's watching this, Russia's watching this, and they're like, bro, what's going on?
and I
This seems,
wonder, yeah, and it's like, but they have so many Secret Service agents, right? So it's like,
but still,
no, no,
it's
no,
like
no, no, no. But it's like, who do they give who to, right? I don't know how they decide that stuff,
for sure,
right?
but like it's like can anybody just apply at this point? There was like, okay, I don't know how to. All right, hmm, how am I going to say this? So there is, there's keep it as vague as possible. So there's this person that is applying for this position. And when I heard very tactical position, like, okay, like, you'd expect to be like imagine like a position where you need to be able to protect people. But right. And then it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like if I applied, I know I wouldn't get it. Cause like you still have to, well, I mean, I might get it. See
Hmm.
where I'm going with this thing. So like I know there are certain positions where it's like I wouldn't get that position, that job, because I know that I'm 5'5". I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get bodied. Like
Hmm.
maybe if I had like a gun or a weapon, that's why I train like different martial arts systems. So it's like I get it. Like you wouldn't accept me, and I wouldn't want to be accepted to there because I feel like I wouldn't be the right person for that position, right?
Hmm.
Like tactical leader for a SWAT team. I'd be like, maybe, but I don't know. So I know somebody who's applying for a position that's very serious. And I was like, really? That person? I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
Hmm.
But like, I was like, dude, should I just apply? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
this how we're getting in at this point? And then seeing that like Secret Service person, I was like, this is the Joe Rogan joke that he made years and years ago, where
Hmm.
how they're trying to make inclusion and like I'm all for diversity and inclusion. I'm all for that. But I'm also more in favor of meritocracy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? We've talked about this so many times. Like, I'd rather you be really good at your job than you give it to somebody just because they've ticked a box. That makes no sense to me.
I saw
But
like, it just reminds me. I saw like a clip or like posting or like article headlines where it's like these companies are now firing or getting rid of DEI people because it's not really helping the company.
it's not unless no, yeah, it's not. No, it's not. Um, I really
Well,
believe
it
meritocracy
said
is
it
key,
like
bro.
I think Microsoft's one was like headline was something about like it's not helping like them as a business make money. It's not. This
No,
is
yeah,
way
it's not.
yeah, yeah,
It just we have to do this because like we're trying to seem inclusive.
yeah. So there was like three big companies that really like I think the articles were relatively close to each other when they were letting go of those teams.
Okay. But all right, here's my thing. Where do we draw the line? It's like, I get it. It's like because I'm like, especially in my professional stuff, like I am a champion for diversity, equity, inclusion. Totally. I
Hmm.
think representation matters. But at the same time, I'm like, but above all, I would say meritocracy matters. Like if you are not doing a good job, but you are just the quote unquote token, what are you doing there, bro? Like that's serving no one.
Sure.
But on the converse of that, I do see a lot of like favoritism towards your own race. And it's like, wait, we're doing better than you, but you guys are in a position of power simply because like you are in this group together. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like power structure and like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
There's reasons
like that.
where it works and where it doesn't work. Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And but like no, like yeah, there are like times when like DI matters and doesn't matter, but like I really think at the end of the day, if we want a society that's good, it's all about meritocracy, bro.
Hmm.
It's like, wait, what did you study? What is your experience? How are you in this position? But you know what's crazy about that whole thing? That is a very conservative viewpoint, but it's a logical viewpoint. I was talking to this person who, yeah, it's like keep this like also very like vague, but like I was talking to this one person and they are extremely um inclusive in their mind. They're extremely inclusive. Like, oh yeah, we should all like, equality, blah
Hmm.
blah,
Hmm.
whatever. Um, and but but then they were saying but they're not in it. They don't see this, right? They don't see this like level. Like they really filter their experience of life in a way that they don't see the things that we're saying, right? And then they saw one thing and then they were like, oh, that makes no sense. And then I was like, that's a conservative viewpoint. And they're like, no, it's not. It's not. How's that conservative? Blah, blah. I'm like, practicality is conservative now.
Hmm.
And it's like, why? Why is that like, oh, you're just keeping the patriarchy up? And it's like, even somebody who's so pro in like the inclusion space, but they're not actually like seeing it because they like filter that kind of viewpoint. They don't see like the loud
Sure.
minority,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then inherently they were like, that makes no sense. Like, why would you let that person do that thing? You know?
Hmm.
And we're in this space now where we're not thinking and we're just plug and play, bro. We are just like robots. And anybody that thinks outside of the robot viewpoint is like branded as a conservative, which is a negative term.
Hmm.
You know what I say?
Yes and no, but I think it's
Or tell me the no. Tell me the no.
what I
Like
mean by that is like I don't think everyone's just one left or something. Majority of the people are uh
centrist.
centrist. Yeah.
No, no, but centrist is also a conservative viewpoint now. If you say anything
No, no, no.
positive,
I think that makes only sense to people that are if you're surrounded by extreme left. There's no one that's majority of
for sure,
people are centrist.
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the problem is and people have talked about this for so long. Like Elon Musk has talked about this, and I was like, yeah. At the time, I was like, that's a little risky to say. But now I'm kind of like, I see your point, which is yes, the extreme left is few and far between against the main populace, but the extreme left is also running these tech companies. They are like Apple. Why did you remove the color of certain things, like skin colors? Of I was like, what was this? Or like they removed their gender.
Hmm.
Remember, I was trying to show you guys. I was like, oh, where's the male symbol? Gone. And you're like, what? Now they just have the inclusive symbol. I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, extreme left, bro. Like, why can't I use that symbol? How is that going to offend anyone? Like, she's using, I'm a male,
Hmm.
but you removed it. Like, literally go on your phone, type in male character, and it will not come up. They remove that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is what I mean. It's like Elon Musk was saying this. Yes, most people are centrist, but the left is running, the extreme left is running our tech world. And
I don't want to say that they're running the tech world. I think those are the like, extreme left are the people that would cause issues, right? The centrists are not speaking out loud, right?
I know, and it's
So
insane.
that's the
Like,
problem, right? If the centrists were speaking out loud, those are the ones that can affect shareholders, right? That can
yeah,
affect the share
facts.
money. So if only the extreme left are the ones yelling, well then yeah, they don't want any kind of dip in their shares, so they're gonna have to do that because they're the ones who speak it the loudest, right?
It's right, exactly. Because the centrist people are just like, yo,
Ah,
chill. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, or whatever. I'm just chill.
but no one's really, yeah, exactly. But you don't have
We're,
a
we're not
staunch
angry.
belief. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So that's
Dude,
the issue.
that's the issue. And it's like, and you don't even see your own hypocrisy. Like forever to me, like you will never sway me in understanding how a non-BIPOC person can tell a BIPOC person about inclusivity.
Hmm.
But you have no lived experience with what it's like. And the crazy part is, I didn't even think it was an issue growing up. like I was like, all right, whatever. Like we're just playing this game. Like yeah, like we are in a Canadian society. Even my parents, they're just like, yeah, learn to do that because that's a Canadian thing. Learn to do that because that's Canadian. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, whatever, right? And then like now it's like anti-colonization, and then I'm like, bro, what? This was what we were supposed to do as a kid, you know? And it's like, yeah, but colonization is how we got here. Like immigration's the new colonization, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Hmm.
Like, but actually, Jonah brought that up. Immigration is the new colonization. Because instead of like going in and conquering, you just go through immigration and like invest,
Yep.
right? It's like that's how we're gonna change things. But
Hmm.
so going back to it, it's like, do you remember as a kid, it was like, yeah, just do the Canadian, like you played hockey, bro.
Yeah.
And you were like, I want to go to Indian school. I was forced to go to Filipino school. I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. I just want to be with my white friends.
Hmm.
Right? Remember? You know what I'm saying? That's funny because I said it and you're like, oh yeah, that's true. I'm writing this sneak peek. I asked if we're putting out this uh like book on diverse voices, and I asked if I could be a part of it. And like they're like, yeah, sure, sure. Like I didn't really want to in the beginning, but then I was like, I had gotten this one person on and read their story, and I was like, oh, I have a similar story. Let me just share it.
Hmm.
I was talking about in the thing and like how like we literally, if you think about it, we grew up, our schools were hella white,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't have the immigration level was there, but not as much as we have now. Right.
Right. But and then I said this in the article, which is that outside of school, like on my street, I was hanging out with people of totally different cultures.
Hmm.
Like you had Indian, Iranian, Kevin,
Hmm.
Jamaican, Jared,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Filipino,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mark. You're like, bro, we're so multicultural on the street. But then when you go to school, it's like, I remember vividly people being like, what's Filipino? And I was like, oh, I don't know. They're like, is it like Chinese? I'm like, maybe.
Right, right, right.
And then like Sid came in grade 6 and like that's when things turned because he was like popular and they're like, oh my God, you're Filipino. That's so cool. Like you're so handsome, you know? And then like, oh yeah, BJ's Filipino too. You know, you're
Right,
like,
right,
oh,
right. Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
it's making sense, bro. But like this wasn't an issue, it's just what we had to deal with. And then now like, yo, that's not inclusive, bro. And you're like, oh man, but we had to learn this. This is just what we went through,
Mm.
you know? But then it's weird, like those same white people growing up now telling me about my experience. I'm like, you totally didn't even know what I was when I was a kid, bro. Like,
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
championing it. It's like you were the one asking me what I was, and like
Mm,
you were
mm,
just surrounded.
mm.
I was surrounded by white people, bro. You know, totally different era. But
Yeah.
now it's like we're trying so hard to undo that rather than being like, oh, that's where we came from, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why we need to undo it.
Just like that's what it is. But why is it you and me speaking about like, oh, we don't need to undo it, bro. It's just the past.
Well, there is so like I remember when I was in Thunder Bay too, like how this guy was speaking. He was white. I just felt
Uh
weird. Is like he felt guilt for all their colonization. I was
yeah, the
like,
white bro,
wait,
what are you
what?
saying, bro?
Like
Okay, or
you didn't do
there's
it.
yeah,
Just
for sure. Yeah, chill, bro. Like, all right, I get it. Like, did you actually hurt me? No. It's like, relax. But there's two things out of this. There's the white guilt, which is like,
yeah.
oh, my ancestors. And I see it all the time. And I'm like, bro, you didn't do anything to me. And I said that to somebody, and they were like,
Mm.
oh, thanks. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I had to tell you that it's okay. Like, you didn't do anything. You couldn't put that two and two together. Like, it's
Mm.
crazy. But it's more like just when you like, you know what it is? It's like the truth is the hardest pill to swallow. The red pill is so damning, right? But
Mm.
when you do things like, like psychedelics or like you read into more of history, these are all red pills, right? Like psychedelic literally means mind manifesting. Things that are in your mind are coming to surface and you're like, oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. Right. And then reading about history is also a red pill because you're like, oh, dude, we did what?
Hmm.
And then you read economics, you're like, dude, that's how this thing's going. You know what I mean? Like you realize all these things about the world, and then you start going through these phases of tripping out.
But it's
You
like
know?
I get that, I get that, but it's like how far
Yeah.
back do you want to go? Like I can go back to like King Ahsoka, like going and doing all that war stuff on the other side. It's like, am I gonna feel bad? 'Cause I don't
Oh yeah, facts.
like that's
That's
also
true.
like kind of connected to me, I guess. But like, but it's like I don't feel anything about that.
Right. Or like Genghis Khan killing most of the like where most people on Earth are descended from Genghis Khan because he slept with
Right.
so many
Yeah.
people, apparently. But it's like, do we like mourn for the people
Yeah.
that
Or do I feel guilt? I don't feel. I don't
oh, I'm a
feel that.
descendant of Genghis Khan, I feel so bad. You're like, what are you saying, bro? That's so far removed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I really liken it to a bad trip because when you start like realizing stuff and you're like, oh, dude, that was crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I was tripping out last night and we were like, me and Chad were joking about my first martial arts place and how culty it was, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even think about the culty nature of it. And they were just like dissecting, like, it was like, oh, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? Oh, it's very culty. And then we're like, oh, bro. But this was my, and I was like tripping out. And that's like my bad trip because you're like, oh, the truth is coming. Like you're like realizing, right? But then like you wake up sober second thought the next day, you're like, okay, that did happen, but like how do you move forward? Like there's some good lessons still. It wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? But like I feel like consciously you go like what is society if not a bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like me watching a bunch of people go through a drug trip right now, and they're just like hitting the low phase of it where they're like, oh, dude, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is so bad. And then you're gonna like come out of it and then be like, but that's where we came from, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the cult, me and Taylor would have never met. Okay,
See.
so take the good with the bad. Like
Sure.
that's the Taoism, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's insane, but we're not at that level of understanding yet, you
Yeah.
know?
It'll shift again, as we said. Like.
No, no, we'll shift, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
like I think right now it's like because you're gonna lose some stuff in the shift,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're gonna have like the downfall of Western society, maybe, or it's like you see these two terrible leaders, and you're like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
As a different country, you know? So I feel like where we're shifting towards that. But the other thing aside from white guilt is white saviorism. And what that is like, and then they're like, oh, let me help you. Let me help you give a
Right.
leg up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like, bro, we made it this far without your help. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
where were you when my parents were landing and then getting these startup jobs? And they're like, yeah, that was a bad time. I'm like, so then why don't you give me your job?
Mm-hmm.
Like you really want to help, just give me more pay. Or like, you really want to help, like, put me in a position of power. Or they're like, no, 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 no. You can have a leg up, quote unquote, but like we still need to keep you where you are. So it's like, okay, so you really just gave me lip service, bro. Like, oh, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna help the community, but it's like, but the things you're doing aren't actual lasting changes. They're like, or for example, if an organization, not saying this is happening, but let's say there's an organization that gets a bunch of funding, but it's a transient funding. So it's like, oh, it's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all the people that with the funding that will last forever, you're all white. And then
Mm-hmm.
all the transient funding goes to all the BIPOC people. Yeah, but look how many people we got under this program. Yeah, it's transient funding though, bro. Like your actual org isn't changing, just the entry level positions,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just going to turn over. So it's like, see, that's the white supremacy. You're like, but we're helping. You're like, you're helping, but not really though.
Sure.
Helping just enough to look good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But tell
Right.
me how you really feel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, but this is the red pill. This is the truth. And it's like, this is why it's like when you get like white people telling me about diversity initiatives, like just quit your job and let me have that job, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, well, what are you saying right now,
Mm-hmm.
bro? You know? Anyways, okay, so the next thing is, are we in the Matrix, bro? It's kind of related, but
Mm-hmm.
like, why does nobody care? Like, nobody cared that this guy almost got assassinated. If he was dead right now, you'd be like mind blown.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's the thing, right? That he
Or they
didn't
want
die.
an extreme. Like, what are we saying, bro?
No, 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 not that he didn't die.
No,
But
that's what I mean. You want
yeah,
you want an extreme.
yeah, to be impactful, yeah, in some way. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
But okay, so if we can't even care about the attempted assassination of a would-be ex-president, then how are you going to care about UAPs, bro? How are you going to care about like climate change? How are you going to care about anything? Like you not caring about this one thing. I made like a very like gentle gesture about it. I didn't want to like go off and be like, oh, da, 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 right? I was just like, the world's a little weird right now. We got to spread a little love, positivity, light. here's a cool song that'll make everyone feel better. And they just ignored it. They're just like, oh, no, he should have died. You're like, what are you saying, bro? What are you saying? Where's the humanity?
Sure.
And then you saw those like leftist videos of that one. Do you see that one where the girl's going off like, you missed, you
I
were
think
too
I
easy.
think it
Like,
comes to
oh,
like
come on,
I think it
bro.
was like it's more like maybe because his rhetoric's been or the views that they've seen his rhetoric being racist and other stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's like you probably would have been okay with him dying.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah. That's the Tulsi Gabbard thing where she's like, if you paint him out to be the next Hitler, of course you want him dead.
Hmm.
But is he the next Hitler? Like, are you pushing this narrative too far? You know?
Sure. Yeah.
It's like the Kendrick and Drake battle. Kendrick's been alluding to Drake being a pedophile. No allegations have been brought forward. But if somebody kills, like let's say the parent of somebody who their kid was molested by a pedophile, he goes over to Drake's house, kills him, and they're like, "Oh, bro, that was just a song." You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like you kind of position that in its oh we know it's entertainment, whatever, right? But like this is the presidency. You're like, he's the next Hitler, and you're like, but gotta kill him.
Mhm.
Like, what else are you gonna think? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's we're so brainwashed.
Hmm.
Did you see any of those CNN things?
Which ones?
Like the articles? I don't know if they were real,
Which
but were
articles?
like it's like the headlines were like Trump's thing gets interrupted, or like Trump
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
falls shoes, like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
breaking shoes.
Sure.
Like, bro, why are you not reporting the assassination attempt? You're trying to downplay it.
No, no, no. I don't think that's
Okay, go
correct.
ahead. Okay, go. Yeah.
That's called breaking news when no one knows what's actually going on.
Okay. Oh, I
Because
see what you're
even
saying. So
Fox
they
News
just
had articles like that or titles like that.
like him slip. So okay, wait, hold on.
I'm
For
talking
sure.
about
Okay,
like
okay.
when he dropped or like he fell. I saw some
Yeah,
clip
totally.
about that. Yeah, but the
Okay,
thing
okay,
is,
okay.
they were all about. It's because it's breaking news. No one knew that an assassination attempt actually happened.
Totally. Sure. Okay. We'll go with that. So it's breaking news. So they don't know it's an assassination attempt. So they just write like a weird headline. He slips and
Sure.
falls,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Okay. So why is it that the first time I heard about this thing was from social media, Six Buzz saying, no, it wasn't Six Buzz. It was like TMZ, something like that. And it was like assassination attempt on the president. I was like, what? I didn't see a breaking news article
Hmm.
about him slipping and falling. There's nothing on social media about like Trump slips and falls because they waited for a second. I'm like, well, what just happened here? So like he
No,
slips and falls.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, all
But
right, go ahead.
you do have a issue here in Canada is we don't have news on Instagram.
Facts, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to wait for a third party. Right. So you have to wait for an intermediary. So something happens
Hmm.
because we don't have news in Canada, which is crazy to me. We don't have news on social media in Canada.
Except for
It takes a
TikTok.
minute, except for here. And then it takes a minute, and then you finally get the information. So it's like, why didn't you just wait the minute, bro? Like, why did you have to position the narrative so quickly? Like, who are you trying to beat here? Like, what kind of news is that, though? No, I'm saying
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why breaking
rushed.
news is never accurate. Yeah.
So you rushed to a conclusion before waiting to see what happened.
Yeah, because that's what media's about,
That's what I mean. No,
right?
but that's what I
Yeah.
mean. That's like,
This
that's
is
weird.
it's because
That's weird.
yeah, because they're battling social media, and that's what social media has done to our breaking news world.
Then that's weird, bro. Like, that's why I'm like, we're in the matrix. Like, what are we doing with society?
Hmm.
Like, your news sources can't be trusted because they're trying to beat out people who are tweeting about it. But then my first interaction was a vetted piece because somebody actually waited to see what the video was. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do I gotta trust social media more than news? And they said that, like multiple people said that, like Elon Musk and like Joe Rogan, they're like, social media is more accurate than news.
That's not necessarily true, though.
No, you're right. Not necessarily true, but I'm saying this is a very intense event where you're like, I would have wanted the accurate, like if I saw, oh, slipped and fell, I'm like, whatever.
Hmm.
But you're like, oh, assassination attempt. Wait, this is serious.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like you for long stories, I get what you're saying, like investigative journalism.
And it
Totally.
depends. Yeah, it depends on like even Fox News had that thing too, right?
Where he slips and falls.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
um, because they're competing with each other for this breaking news thing. Then it will shift. It shifted quickly to the assassination thing, but
Totally.
and it depends
Yeah.
on which news source you do get it from. So people that do like Trump or like that side, they're not going to post about him falling,
Exactly. Right. Okay. Okay. But no, but see how
right?
we're defending a news source that's supposed to be unbiased and just giving us information.
Hmm.
So why is it that we need social media to give us information? I'm saying that like, and you've seen it a lot, like Pat Bet Patrick Bet David, PBD. He put up this like statistic about how he had way more views. Same with Joe Rogan, podcast, all these things, way more than CNN. And you're like, this is the death of traditional media. Like we and aside from the view count, why is the accuracy more accurate on social media? Because people are going back and forth checking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a Wikipedia page, like the theory behind the Wikipedia page. If
Mm.
everyone is course correcting it, then you'll get the best information because
Sure.
people are able to log in and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
so like if somebody posts something on social media, actually know it's this, and they take it down and they post a new thing.
Hmm.
Can't do that with traditional media. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Oh, but they do put out corrections.
Who reads them though? That's the thing. It's like,
Yeah, but but they're the only ones that do that. The other media's don't, or like conservative media's. I don't say conservative media's.
no, I'm talking about
Um,
social media.
Other
Social media
social media's
versus, yeah,
doesn't do corrections.
for sure, for sure. But at the same time, you can look at multiple sources and come away with your own understanding of it,
That's
which
if
is,
you. That's if
yeah,
you have yeah. That's if you're willing to look at other sources, right? Social media
yes,
ends up happening as you fall into groups,
100%. No, totally,
right?
for sure,
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying. That's where the issues are too.
For sure, for sure. I'm just saying like the mechanics of it. Let's not think about the person because like of course, yeah, if you're a person that like doesn't care about or like you're just sucked into a vacuum of like leftist thinking or right wing thinking, then of course you're not going to look at either one. What I'm saying is like the opportunities there. Like I can quickly go to an opposing viewpoint and check that out.
Mhm.
Whereas like you said they were battling for the news and they both had the same story. So it's like, okay, so where am I going to go? Both outlets are saying the exact same thing. It's broken.
Mhm.
Both said he slipped and fall, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, if you're both incorrect, then who else can I go to? Whereas social media, it's like one person says this, the other one says this, and then the comments, they like battle each other. It's
Mhm.
more of like public forum,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a town square. Now we're like, hey, this is going on. Really? What? Are you sure? Let me
Mhm.
check that out.
Mhm.
You know, like there have been many times when I've said something and then you were like, no, that's wrong. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you'll show me an article and I'm like, there you go. But like, if you just put that out on like CNN for a 24-hour broadcast, you're getting like pumped with that information until it gets corrected. But we can get corrected in like real time.
But that's, I mean, if you're just saying 24 hours CNN, that was corrected in real time then.
No, no, for sure. No, I'm saying in real time is in like instantaneously, like actually real time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
somebody, like not like, hey, no, because like there's editing, right? It's not like you can just do that. And then it's like you have to put a whole segment together. You got to get the clips, you got to get somebody to edit it. Like social media is way faster at course correcting than actual traditional media because you need the team. Like, hey, send the reporter down there. Okay, what video clip do we put the B-roll shot on top of this? You are literally just like, here's an article. It's wrong. And I'm like, oh,
See,
sweet.
that's,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wrong.
Sometimes, again, that's, we talk about that too, where it's like the titles of articles are saying one thing, but in the article is saying different. Like they're saying,
Yeah, facts.
they use words probably like, uh, or like, what is like it seemed like, or like they're
Yeah,
using
yeah,
words
totally.
like that versus saying he actually fell or something like that, right?
Yes, totally, totally, totally. But I'm saying like the ability, the speed, the agility with which we can interact online is faster and more accurate than if we had waited for these news outlets to like do their thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the
You know?
issue. Yeah, this is the issue with, of course, broadcast itself, like TV
Yeah,
broadcast,
that's what I
right? But
mean, right?
traditional media or like newspapers are still like the best. That's where the people get their information actually
100%. Yeah,
from.
you're right. Because it takes time. It's like they're not just going
They're
to,
investigative journalists.
thank you. Is yeah, let's give it a 24-hour story. Let's put all of our best reporters on this, get the information, filter that information. But then when you get like the news trying to catch up to social media, it's like we're getting wrong information. You know what I mean? Because like if you look at how many people read the daily news, it's shrinking.
Hmm.
So like, but you're right though. That is like the best source because you have to send out people, you have to write it, like they'll craft a story, their name is behind it. But like
Hmm.
during these like news segments, you're really just like you're just not the quality of control is not there.
Yeah, that's the issue. This is the issue
Yeah.
with 24-hour news, right?
Yeah,
That information
exactly.
is never going to be accurate.
For sure, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you have social media, which is even faster and more accurate than that. That's why I'm like, all right, traditional media is dying, bro.
No,
Like
I don't.
I get you like publications that won't die. But I'm saying like the news, like the 24-hour news cycle, it's like you are very limited in what you're showing me, you know?
Sure, yeah, 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 but I don't know. I think they're still very big in the United States, right, or around the
Bec-
world.
bec-
Their
because
own
of like
media's.
yeah, because of like propaganda, bro. Like that is like I think it's shrinking now, but like when you buy cable, like you buy TV, you buy cable. So what's on cable? News stuff.
Hmm.
So then you're all watching the same news. But like if we move toward like do you have cable?
Uh, it's not well, sort of, but
But you don't have like is it on your TV and then you can watch like channels?
uh, it's an app thing, but yeah,
Okay,
it's
what
like
is it?
it's
Like
like
explain.
no, no, no. I mean, like it's kind of like cable, but not in the traditional sense. But yeah,
Like your parents' house.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like something like that.
yeah.
Do you have that?
Uh, sort of. It's not like connected to the TV, but yeah.
Okay. All right, sure you have a
If
hybrid.
I am to watch it, it's gonna be like streamed from the iPad or something like that, like to the TV.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say I don't have cable, and I know that a lot of people don't have. I think it's dying, and it's like they're trying to stay relevant. This like news outlet, right?
Hmm.
And that was like we said it before, where before you can like you only had one source of information, but now we have multiple sources of information. So we're all creating these different niches, and we're all not into the same things. It's harder to brainwash people
Yeah, yeah, we were talking
collectively,
about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Sure.
But what I'm seeing with we're still not out of that zone because nobody caring about the Trump assassination to me is like we're so brainwashed, bro.
Hmm.
Like, how does nobody care about this? Did that not strike you at all, or like,
Oh yeah, it
really?
did. Yeah, I had it on the news as soon as because I was at my parents' when
Yeah,
that
yeah, okay,
happened, right? And I put it on right away. Like I was watching the 24-hour news about it.
yeah. But like, yeah, you cared.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
did you notice that nobody cared though, or they were just like, well, it's Trump, who cares?
Well, I'm not in that world, right? It just nothing happened. So I think that's probably the one of the main things.
Okay, okay, yeah, all right, I could see that. It's like you're not really surrounded by those kinds of people, so you didn't really get
Hmm.
experience with that. Okay, what about this? What about the people that think it's a conspiracy? Even still, like there's some people that what's his
Hmm.
name, Eddie Griffin, going off on it being a conspiracy. Faked, not conspiracy. Because I think it's definitely a conspiracy. Like there's we'll get into that after, but like um faked.
No.
There's so many accounts that are just like, oh, you see how he turned this? That's not real. Oh, he said that there'd be blood in his hand. It's not there. What are the chances
Yeah,
that
who
it was
is
just
this person?
like, come on? No, 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 like social media. No,
Oh,
so
okay.
many people like they're just going out like Eddie Griffin. You know Eddie Griffin, the actor.
Eddie Griffin.
He's really popular when we were kids. Black
I,
comedian.
I think yeah, I think familiar with
Okay.
the name. I don't remember his face right now. Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So he was like going off about how it's faked and like we're all
Mm.
being fooled. And I'm like, really? Remember I even sent it to like I sent it to our chat and like
Yeah,
I'm just gonna out you, bro, because that was the dumbest thing I ever saw. My sister was like, "It's faked." I'm like, "What are you saying, bro?
but
Literally,
she wait.
people
When did she's still
died."
saying it's fake?
Oh, I don't know. That was like in the beginning
But
because
that's a
I like
breaking news phase.
true. Yeah, now we're looking into it. You're right. You're right. But I'm just like, bro, really? You think it was fake? Even Tara, who's like not a supporter of Trump, she's like, "Oh, this is really weird." I'm like, "What's going on?" And then she was like, "People are saying it's faked. Like people died. Like how could it be fake?" I'm like, "Exactly." But they're
Mm.
trying to push this narrative in this way that's like, "Oh yeah, he did this for the votes." What are you saying,
But
bro?
who's saying that though? Is that
A lot of
what?
people, the extreme left, like online, they're just going off. You're
It,
like, how?
no, no, I understand, but like extreme left. But that's the problem. It's all online, right? Not on actual
Facts,
legit
totally.
sources. They're not saying it's fake.
Yeah, but like Elon Musk said, the one who rules the memes rules the universe. So it's like we gotta like control the narrative on social media. So
Yeah,
if
but
you're
then
just getting
you're,
pumps
but
with that
you,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But then you're just, as you said, like social media is supposed to be accurate news, but
No, no, but that's no, I'm seeing like counters. So I'm like watching them go back and forth. And then
Mhm.
you can choose, right? But like that's like it's course correcting itself. Because I watched the video, I'm like, how is it fake, bro?
Mhm.
So it's like there is still that that like that debate of ideas. You're not just given one idea. Like if the news said, "Oh, it's faked," we're all gonna believe it. But there's nobody like countering the narrative.
Yeah, yeah.
But now we can watch people counter the narrative in real time, and then you're like, you make your own decision, bro.
Mhm.
Which is what it should be. It's like just give me the information, let me choose.
Mhm.
Right? Like, isn't that what freedom is?
Sure.
Like, don't like tell me what to believe. Show me what there is, and then I'll decide for myself what to believe.
Mhm.
Right? Like, because like even with COVID, bro, like the things that are insane that are coming out now, which is like um the like Fauci being like, we just totally made up the 6 foot distancing. You're like, what? Bro, I trusted you, Or like the Serb stuff, like don't overtake from the Serb thing because like we're like gonna
Mhm.
get you. It's the honor system. You're like, okay, cool, get my money. I don't have whatever. And it's like, oh, we actually messed up and we mismanaged the Serb thing. We don't know who's in charge of like that. And you're like, what? Bro, like all of this incompetence is insane to me,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, no, you don't think so? You don't think like the incompetence is insane?
I think it depends on what was happening at the time.
Fear.
Uh,
And if you're in a fear state, you're going to freak out and you're just gonna do whatever.
yeah,
You're
no,
like,
I think no, no, no,
like,
but like even in the beginning, let's just say about the Fauci thing, he uh, making something up is different than making educated guesses
okay,
as to what way we can try to prevent this thing from spreading. There's two different things there, right?
okay, go
Someone
ahead.
that has some knowledge and experience in that field is not making something up in that sense.
Okay, then what about this? No, no, I hear what you're saying. The 6 feet thing. Okay, what about this? Every single, like my mom knew this right away.
Hmm.
As soon as you put somebody on a ventilator, your body stops learning how to breathe for itself and they're going to die.
Hmm.
She said that in the beginning of COVID, and they were putting people on ventilators like, oh, people are dying from COVID. It's like they're actually dying from ventilators. And then, but it's like, but when you said like educated guess, it's like, so who said to put them on there? Like, is that their best guess at the time? Because a lot of people knew they're like, oh, it's very dicey once you go on that thing.
No, I think weren't they like already that dicey that this is their last thing?
No, I think a lot of people. So it's like, okay,
I
so
think
you're,
I think no, no,
yeah,
but they're not the doctors or whatever. They're the one making the decision, right?
yeah, yeah,
If they're
facts.
at their last stage that they could like there's nothing else for them, then it's the ventilator.
Okay, but it's like
It's different from saying that once they get into the hospital, put them on a ventilator,
totally, totally,
right?
totally. But you're saying about like the 6 feet thing is their best guess, whatever, whatever. But like that was the rhetoric at the time. If we go back, it's like, oh, if you get COVID, you're going on a ventilator because you can't breathe. Like that was the rhetoric. So it's like
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
the
oh,
media's rhetoric though, but it's different from what doctors are doing.
right, and everything you're saying is media related. Like everything we're pointing, I'm pointing holes in is like it's all media.
Yeah,
Like
because
this whole
they're giving all the whole information. They're giving that's one story. There's another story. There's so many kinds of stories that are happening when it's
yes,
breaking
so
news.
no, for sure, right.
I'm
And
saying
during
the
the
whole
COVID
thing.
time
Yeah,
was
COVID
everything
time
was
was
breaking
breaking news.
time.
Yeah, yeah,
Every single day was breaking news.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%, 100%. But what I'm saying is like the real people behind it, you're like, well, but the doctors, they're like, well, this is their last shot, whatever, whatever. But what I'm saying is we're being controlled by the media. And it's like so clear to me the fact that nobody cares that Trump was almost assassinated. If you look back at COVID, if you look at Serb, you're like, bro, you're just telling tales, bro.
Hmm.
Like telling, you're spinning narratives so that people can just be okay with the unknown. Like, we're in a state of like, what's going on? And it's like, okay, what way do we push them? Like
Sure.
the media is
Yeah,
asking, like, what way do we push the people? And there's so much power in the media. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand what you're saying, but I don't
yeah,
know if it's necessarily how what way we push the people. It's what makes us more money.
but but that's the thing though. It's like that's
It's not about like intentionally pushing in any direction. It's about
no, 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 no,
what
no, no. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
what's causing or what will create views and money.
Exactly. So that is what you're pushing though. I'm saying like the objective. So like
Is it like it comes down sometimes it comes down to is it what they are wanting to say or what the people want them to say?
is 100%. I know exactly what you're saying. And it's this. And I always say this about marketing. Marketing is just the force, bro. It's just Jedi mind tricks. That's what marketing is. But what a marketer, like a really good marketer, is like, I'm a Jedi. I will Jedi mind trick them for you. But what's the outcome? So you just said, like, is it about making money? I'm like, exactly. It's like, it's not about truth. It's about like, how much money can I get? This is the, this is where I want to go. This is my goal. Marketing's in the middle, bridging the gap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you see all of this happening, I'm like, we're being mind controlled by the marketing, but to what end? Who's choosing this stuff?
So then, are you saying that the media should be free of
Bias?
no, free of private funding?
Yeah. I think the
Should be
media should
government
be,
funded.
yeah, but then you run into the risk of like the government, like
But
what
the
do you call that?
government always changes, anyways, right? It's not like they're telling them what articles to write.
No, but whoever funds you always has a slant in the way you write things. It's going to be the case forever. I think the media should be a nonprofit organization, and I think it should be a collective good, and we should just put our money into it. Like it should be a part of like a road building. It should
Yeah,
be like
yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's government funded, then what you're saying.
But like detached. Like I think we should because once you make it government funded, it's like whoever's in office is going to have control over like messing with it. I think if like this is impossible, but if everyone just put like a bucket of their money towards like a media subscription, and then it's just like that's your money, just give me the information in a boring way. Like I just want the data, bro.
Hmm.
I don't want you to give me a narrative. Like as soon as you start spinning a narrative,
I
like
understand what
this is
you're
the headline.
saying. I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying. But when you're saying a boring way, no one's going
yeah,
there.
exactly. Exactly.
No one's going
And
there. They're
that's
going.
our
That's why
problem.
they go to social media.
But that's our problem. And then you know what happens when people start going off? They're like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh." It's like, well, did you read? Did you read the boring news article about it? And then that's how
That
you filter.
so that's what I'm saying. Like the issue is that it's 24-hour news and social media. Like maybe we just go back to traditional paper news as they
Maybe,
have.
maybe, bro. Maybe. Like, I think we're like this is more about society, but we're moving way too quickly towards something we don't
Yeah.
know the ramifications of. Like,
That's what
like with the
I was thinking of maybe getting that whole Apple thing with including the Apple News because I think you're gonna get New York Times and things like that.
oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. That would be good. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I'm not knocking my New York Times and stuff. Like they do some
I
great
mean,
ground
everyone gets like
work,
yeah, but other people that write about it talk about it from New York Times articles.
right? Because you need people who are working as investigative journalists to figure out the real story and present me the real story,
But
bro.
there's an issue with that too, right? Like
Okay, yeah.
they're writing it from New York Times, but because nobody's reading the actual New York Times, but they're reading others, whatever
Interpretation. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interpretations of it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have the right wing version or the left wing version of that same article.
That's
That's
true.
but that's where most people are going though, and not New York Times, the actual article where they wrote it.
Wait, most regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but exactly. So it's like let's just cut out the middleman, bro. If you just, but that's what I'm saying is you just gave us like impartial, boring news. Like if it's paper, sure, but like we just need something that's like a source where it's like unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
Here's just raw data. You figure out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't need you telling me if something is good or bad. I can decide for myself.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But then how do you brainwash and collectively control a society? How do you get them to vote on a single thing? Like if you actually look at the presidential campaign now, it has become such a joke of what it was. Like if you look at those like time skips of like when it started, like the first televised one was like JFK, and then I saw the next one was like the last time the presidency felt like mature was Obama. And then
Mm-hmm.
now you get like Speedy Mormon. What there's a guy like on like Complex Magazine or something. He was interviewing Biden, and he's like, okay, let's say in November Trump wins. Can you at least name one thing that he'd be good at? And then do you see this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Biden's like, nothing. I'm not being facetious, but nothing. And you're just like, okay, you were just slinging like
Mm-hmm.
dirt at each other at this point, right? And like they're talking about their golf game. No, you lied about the golf game. And then you see like Biden's so old. Like
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
was an elderly man, you'd be like, oh, grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for real though,
That's true. Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, you're so nice. Don't
Mm-hmm.
leave the country, but
Mm-hmm.
you're a nice man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's down to these two. Elderly grandpa that's losing his marbles, undeniably.
Mm-hmm.
When he called the president of Ukraine, President Putin, it's like, what are you saying, bro?
Mm-hmm.
These live on forever. And then the president of Ukraine was like, oh, what? Like you saw his face flash, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, right? Grandpa, chill out,
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like a multimillionaire mogul who's like obviously social media savvy, and like when he played Many Men as he was coming out, like I was like, hats off to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That is like you are tapped into the culture. But it's like you were on a reality TV show, bro. You know how to make this thing. It's a popularity contest, you know?
I was watching. Was it? There's like some new show, Rome or something like that.
Okay.
And they had the same thing where it's like the Caesar person is super old, right? But he has
Okay.
to show face to the public, and it's like
Oh, okay.
because he looks frail, like very they get when you get older, the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
white people
totally.
get more whiter,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then more paler, and then it's like oh put some color on him, and then I remembered oh yeah Trump is doing this whole fake tan
Orange.
thing to
Yeah,
he
that's
looks super
true.
young or younger than he
That's
actually is. What does he
true.
actually look like behind the
Oh, that's so true. I didn't even think about
Yeah, I
that.
was like, and we just like, we always viewed like, oh, that weird orange tan. Like so many weird people have that, or like whoever has it looks is weird, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
But you're hiding
He's
something.
normal. He's normally doing like it's become normal for him that we're like accepted it like this is normal
Oh,
about
that's
him.
so true. But what do you actually look like as an old
How old do
man?
you actually
Oh, dude, that's trippy. I didn't even
look?
think that's so accurate. It's like, yo, we need to
And
show
it
footage.
was like Roman time, and like I don't know if they were like just put color on him so he looks younger.
Yeah, but we do that now. Dude, we are honestly ruled like I think it was like 2018. I think I was in the Philippines, and I was just in the water, like just kind of like meditating and stuff. And like it hit me like life is just a story we tell ourselves.
Mm,
And from that point on, I was like, oh, that is what it is. And then ever since then, I've never let that go. And I'm seeing it more and more. It's like just control the narrative, you control the people.
mhm.
Like, but you can hijack your own narrative. It's like, well, what story do I want to tell myself? And then you
Yeah.
just do that in that moment. And then it's like, that's our superpower,
Mhm.
right? But that's also how you control freaking society, bro. Like putting on the fake thing in Roman times, it's the exact same thing. It's like, it's a story we gotta tell the people, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta look healthy.
Yeah.
And it's like, But that's what we're
But
doing
but who's
still.
yeah? But it's like who's actually running the country? Is it Trump actually running it, or is
Yeah,
it the
that's true
people
too.
behind Trump?
Yeah, they say like career politicians, right? That are just there and they're like, they've been there forever. They're like, oh yeah, the presidents will just come and go. I think our system's broken. I think in this
Hmm.
global world, there's no way we can keep this going. You're telling me out of every American, these two are the best ones?
Hmm.
You're telling me out of every Canadian, we have a school teacher? What are we talking about, bro?
Hmm.
Like, but for real though. And then you're like, oh, well, what do you want, Putin? He was ex KGB. And you're like, ugh, at least he has some field experience. Like you were in a classroom telling little kids to sit down and listen to you read. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
these
yeah.
two are not the same, bro.
Right.
You know? And I think that's where you know the thing that happened in Toronto, like the massive flooding that just happened.
Sure.
So everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is climate change, bro." It is climate change. I'm not saying it's not climate change, totally. But they're like, this all wouldn't have happened if like multiple people told me this who are like really in the know. And they're like, it's because they incorrectly made that stream. They faked how that stream would go because usually it runs the other way. But they're like, oh, for the city, we're gonna build it this way, right? And like because they've improperly built it, when the water gets too high, Toronto gets flooded.
Hmm.
Okay. So like people are like, see, if we just combated climate change, we just fix this thing. I'm like, one, hindsight is always 2020. At the time, did they know that? Did they know that science was gonna work? Like it's just that's just how we built. And two, why do you think Toronto is the way it is with all the money? Everything comes down to money, bro. So like your real issue is an economics problem. It's not actually a climate change issue. Like
Hmm.
even climate change itself is an economics problem. It's not a climate change issue. It has nothing to do with like oh fossil fuels. Yes, but who's buying the fossil fuels? Did you fill up gas today? I know I did.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
bro, this makes no goddamn sense. But we're not looking at it like that. We're looking at the superficial level. And that's the matrix I've been saying. It's like this is what made me go crazy this past week. I'm like, what are we doing? It's like every little thing is just surface.
Hmm.
Nobody's looking at the deeper thing. Like, do you agree? Like, do you see that too? Like climate change is not me biking to work. Climate change is global economics,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But we're like, you just got to bike to work, bro.
But
Like,
that's not gonna work anyways.
okay.
But sure.
But that's the media narrative. That's like the mind control game. And then you're just like, I'm a part of the team because I said I should bike to work. And you're
Hmm.
like, and I'm the only one going like, this is an economics problem. And they're like, oh, he's crazy.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, I just looked into it, bro.
Right.
Like, why is looking into it crazy now?
But they can't use that word.
Okay. Ah, it's true. It's true. Touche. All right. Why is looking into it fringe? Why are you weird if you look into it?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, like actually,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I'm at like I don't know. Do you like? What do you think, bro?
I think maybe it's just going back to that. I don't being an outcast. You can't if you're being different.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Um.
Oh, you get pushed out of the herd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
Yeah.
it's all just like low vibration thing,
We're still in high school time. That's what that
survival.
is. Yeah. It's not your clique.
Yes, you're right though. It does go back to that. You get ostracized
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
from the group if
Sure.
you're like,
I mean, we are what do you call that? Collectivist species, right? So
yeah, yeah, okay.
that's kind of
Yeah,
like
but
ingrained in us.
this is why we need the matrix because like we are a collective species, and how do you control the species? A narrative,
Hmm.
like literally just brainwashing, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
literally Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah.
I think I sent it to you, the Pacific Hemisphere, and it's all blue.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was scrolling social media. It's like, have you ever seen the Earth from this angle? And I posted it at night. I was in bed and I was like, oh, what is this? So I put it up and then I was like, mental note, look into that tomorrow morning.
Hmm.
So I was Googling it and it's like Pacific hemisphere. So you just Google it and you're like, oh, most of our Earth is blue, bro.
Yeah.
I thought our Earth was like that's what everyone like when you draw an Earth, bro, in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I drew a circle and colored it blue, people were like, that's not the Earth. I'm like, Pacific Hemisphere.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
jerk, right?
From that, sure, sure.
Right. But like if you draw an Earth, it's like, well, we have landmass here. Like even my tattoo of a freaking camera of the Earth is like it's
Yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah.
Earth, bro.
Right, right, right.
And like, wait a minute. This is our angle that we see.
Hmm.
But how many people know about that?
Yeah, no.
Like I know I did. Did you know about that before I
Oh, yeah, I've
going
seen
off
it
on it?
before. I've seen it before. Yeah.
But it's like that's not
Well, I knew about the
readily
whole
taught.
70, or it's like majority of the planet is water, anyways.
Yeah, but it's like, but what is? But you have to contextualize that. I need to visually see that. When I saw it, I was like, that's striking.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's all
yeah,
blue, bro.
yeah.
And then you know what's
Pacific
crazy about
Ocean
that?
is the biggest one. Yeah,
Who knew? And then it goes back to like
but
when
Atlantic
people
Ocean may be bigger eventually.
oh, because it's like
The
spreading.
tectonic plates we keep
Oh,
spreading,
okay, shifting. Yeah, 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 that makes
shifting,
sense.
and plates collide.
So with all of this though, when you look at Earth like that, like actually name how many cities, like how many major cities do you know? Like Toronto, Vancouver, LA. Let's say we knew 40 major cities.
Hmm.
Okay. Now think about how big those cities can be. Like Toronto's one of the biggest cities.
Hmm.
I can drive across that in like, I don't know, let's say an hour.
Sure.
Okay. But the earth, when you look at it, you're like, bro, there's so much unexplored space, but we are telling ourselves we know what's going on this earth.
Hmm.
Really though, like think about the narrative of everyone. It's like we know what's going on earth. Bro, you don't know anything. Like I have you seen the ocean? Like
Yeah.
what's in the center of the Pacific Ocean? Is there an island there? You don't know,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. That's why I like Hawaii because it's in the middle portion, nothing around it,
But it's like
relatively close.
how many other islands are there outside just like Hawaii? No, I
Small,
mean, but
small
we are
islands. Yeah, yeah,
undiscovered. I'm saying undiscovered. Like we really think, like I'm saying, humans' hubris is so big that we think
yeah.
we know
I don't know about
everything.
being undiscovered, but maybe, yeah. Unless
You
there's
know
an
what I mean, right?
underwater volcano creating new islands. Yeah.
Totally, totally, totally. And then now we go back to like UAPs when people are like, "Where's the best place for UAPs to hide and
No,
why?"
there's another thing too. Like how we haven't really explored the deep ocean,
That's what I mean, bro.
right?
And you're like, "Wait,
We
what?"
know more. I think it was like we know more about the space than we do about our own ocean, deep ocean.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And yet we think we are the most dominant species. We're like, oh, humans are the most dominant species on Earth. I have you seen the water? Like, I can't say that anymore. After seeing that Pacific Hemisphere thing and then watching like the
Well,
globe
it's
just turn,
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like, wait a minute. What do we know? What do we know, bro?
No, I think I think we can still say we're a dominant species. A person that's
For
you know.
sure on Earth,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but on the surface of Earth, on like land masses of Earth, yes. But we have no idea what's in the water. And then everyone's like, "Oh, you're
Sure.
telling me that there's a giant monster?" I don't know, like
Hmm.
Loch Ness monster. I don't know. Like, have you seen that? Just Google Pacific Hemisphere. You're like, wait, this is unexplored. And you're just like, okay, how can I trust that?
Hmm.
Right? It's like, but okay, going back to UAPs, you know how they're like in space, they're like 80,000 feet. So which is like it's like you see just like in your background, you see the curvature of the earth from that. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actually in space. Okay. But then you but then they see these UAPs drop down to 1 foot above water. This is insane to me. It's literally um captured on radar daily.
Hmm.
And nobody cares about this, just like they didn't care about the assassination. I can't even fault anyone for not caring about this now. I'm like, you didn't care about the assassination. You shouldn't even care about UAPs. Like, clean your bedroom before going towards the rest of the house. You know what I'm trying to say? But like, when they see them go from like 80,000 feet to 1 foot, doesn't that make sense of like them having bases underwater? Because we haven't explored it and there's so much water. How can you say that there are no aliens in the water? We know UAPs exist. how can you say that they're not hiding in the water? This is my question to you.
Well, you can't say positive to a negative, right? We
Wait,
don't
what
know
do you
if
mean?
that's a true statement or not.
Oh,
You
which one? The
uh,
UAPs?
yeah, they're not saying you can't say we've never explored it, so we don't know. You can't say that they may have bases.
Oh no, right, right. What I'm trying to say, I see what you're saying. No, what I'm trying to say is like, can you discount that as a potential theory? But a lot of people do.
As
Like, no,
in,
there are no aliens. And you're like, how do you know?
uh,
No, I'm not saying
sure,
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that you can't discount that as a potential,
sure, yeah,
right? Because you're trying to say that I'm trying to say it's true because
yeah,
that
yeah, 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 yeah.
like
What's
there's
the
so much
evidence of
water.
it being their base? Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that there's I'm saying that you just can't discount it. A lot of pilots say they go into water and it looks like there's a ship that's like docking in the water.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
the Tic Tac. He was watching it. The reason why okay, let's just go back to the Tic Tac episode. Crazy. So like David Fravor, the reason why they checked this thing out is they were over, I think they were over the Pacific or something, and like they were flying, and then they noticed. So usually when you're flying, it's like just clear water, it's just blue,
Hmm.
right? But then they noticed that there was something crashing against the water. So like when you have rocks against water, you know how it like
Sure, yeah, yeah,
flips,
yeah, yeah.
you know, like waves. And they're like, that's weird. It's in the middle of the ocean. Why would that be there? Let's go check it out. So as they go closer, it's like, is that a landing station for this Tic Tac? And then they saw the Tic Tac and then they engaged it, whatever, whatever. But it's like, okay, now I'm starting to think that there are bases underwater because it's like there's a lot of water out there. You just saw something that looked like it was crashing into like the ocean. Like, what is that thing?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. And then people are like, no, how could they have base underwater? There's too much pressure. There's just too much depth. Like, there's
Hmm.
no light there. You know, you're like, from a human centric perspective, yes, it's very difficult for us to do that. But like, why are we the top of the food chain? Why do we think we're the top of the food chain? Have you seen Earth, bro? Like, there's no way that we are like the most dominant species, or I guess we are dominant because we're going into space. But you know what I'm trying to say? It's like there's so much unexplored.
Sure, yeah,
We
yeah,
know
yeah. I
humans
understand what you're saying.
exist,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It's like you can't make such a bold claim about our species if you like. Have you seen the Earth, bro? It's
Y-
humbling, right? If you live in
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
city,
yeah.
if I live in a city, of course I'm going to think like, oh yeah, humans are amazing. But then you just go into like the forest and you're like, whoa, these trees are. Remember we were in Twin Rivers as kids,
Hmm.
and we'd be like, whoa, these trees are huge, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we go back to our suburbs, we're like, oh, this is weird.
Hmm.
It's just manicured, right, for us to
Yeah,
live
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
But you realize like how big Earth is.
Hmm.
So it's like there's no perspective in human beings. If you live all your life in a city and never see these things, of course you're gonna think that we're so grand,
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're surrounded by things that man made versus
Right,
surrounded by things
exactly.
that are nature made.
Yeah. So you're just like, you're like, we must be great. Of course we're great. Look at this. But it's like, have you seen the ocean, bro? I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
we know nothing about it. Like you said, we know more about space than we know the ocean. Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
yeah.
Um, okay. How much time we got left? I just want to do like two quick things that are like pretty mind blowing.
We're an hour 12 in. We just 10 minutes.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So check this out. I was listening to um this science. Oh no, I think I sent it to you. But we were talking about this on the podcast before, where it's like when we take a picture of space, we're like, this is what space looks like. There's no alien life anywhere because all these planets are like empty, right? But they're like, but by the time that light reaches you,
Hmm.
it'll have been like billions of years. So if we had teleported to those, if we like remove time, we just teleport straight to that planet, there could be cities all around us,
Hmm.
right? There could be like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thriving, right? Um, and I thought that was like a harebrained scheme that we had cooked up on the podcast. Because we were just talking, we were just like we were
Oh,
just like free flowing, and then we're like, well, what if you just teleport? Actually, that makes sense because the light, blah blah blah. It was just like a theory that we had like devised. like I don't think I had heard it before. And then I sent it to you in this video, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh,
Well, we were
that's
just yeah, we
really,
were just we knew that what we're looking at is the past. Like that, I
but
knew
we
that.
hadn't, it didn't clicked in our heads that it's like, wait, if you just teleport there now, it could be like thriving with
Sure.
cities,
Yeah,
right? But then it's like, oh, that's actually science. You're like, oh,
yeah.
like, oh no, nobody's talking about this. Okay, so there might actually be aliens all around us
Hmm.
that are like highly developed. Okay, there's that one. And the second thing is, I think I figured out the grandfather paradox. So you know they're like, how can you go back in time
Hmm.
and kill your grandpa because then you wouldn't exist, right?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
That's the all right. Merge that with quantum physics. Remember like the superposition and like different timelines, different
Yeah.
multiverses? When you go back and kill your grandpa, you're killing your grandpa for a new you, but you in your timeline are going back in time. So it's like from your perspective, you're changing the past. You think you're changing the past, but you're not changing the past for you because your past already happened. You're changing the past for a different version of you.
Hmm.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Sure.
Okay. So if that's true, are we all just living our own timelines? And everyone outside of us is an NPC. Like you're an NPC. Like I don't know what's in your head. I don't know what's in Tara's head,
Hmm.
but you are in my reality.
Okay.
Because remember how they were saying like in quantum physics, it's like it's in a superposition, meaning that it's in all states at once. And until you observe it, then it becomes that state. And it's
Hmm.
like, well, that made no sense to me. I'm like, but how? Because if you and I are observing the same thing, like how do we know it's actually that thing? And it's like, no, maybe our reality is us observing our reality and it's rendering for us. So for you right now,
It'll render differently.
exactly, bro. Dude, what if infinity is real? What if we're all just rendering infinite possibilities from our own first person perspective? So
Hmm.
when they're like multiverse, like, yeah, of course there's a multiverse, bro. Your universe is your universe. My universe is mine. To me, you are not actually real. I don't know what's going on in your head.
Hmm. Sure.
I could kill you, but my story goes on.
Hmm.
Until I die, my story will continue.
Yeah, yeah.
But to you, you're dead
Sure.
in my
Yeah, yeah,
reality.
yeah, yeah,
But in your reality, maybe you're not dead.
yeah. Hmm.
Maybe you chose a different path. What if we're all just like it's one of two things. Either we're all playing a simulated first person video game.
That's the simulation. Yeah.
But they said that through quantum physics. They're like, this thing doesn't actually come into existence. We don't know how it works, but it doesn't come into existence until you see it. It's the observer effect. It
Hmm.
doesn't quote unquote render until I observe it.
Hmm.
So if that's true, then the whole universe is through my perspective.
Yes.
And if that's true, the whole universe is through your own perspective.
Hmm. Sure.
And this is the multiverse. It's not about like infinite possible, like, what if I went left? What if I went right? What if I went, you know what I mean? Like, what if I jumped in this moment? What if I said something different? And like, oh, all those possibilities are happening all at once. Sure. But a more logical one is that all the possibilities are happening for me in my timeline, just like your timeline, just like Tara's timeline, just like the random person's timeline. We're all just running different sims.
Hmm.
And I think you're real,
Sure.
but
Yeah, yeah,
I objectively cannot say that you're real.
yeah. Hmm.
Like Descartes, like I think
Yeah,
therefore
yeah,
I
yeah,
am,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? But it's like, but I can't see what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I can think therefore I am.
Sure.
So to me, my reality is real.
Hmm.
And this is my timeline. Your timeline's totally different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's kind of a mind blow, right? We're like, dude, are we all playing Sims? Like, are we gonna die and take off the headset? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing right
Well,
now?
yeah, no, 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 I get it. This is arguments I've seen in, like at the speaker's corner and things like that. But like,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever these arguments come about, especially when religion stuff is there, it's like, oh, then you don't exist, and why am I talking to you?
But it's true though. But it's true
No,
though.
but then from their perspective, as because if their books are true, then you can't like he thinks he's not really real, so there's no point in talking to him, right?
Yes, though. But yes, though, like that's
No,
probably
I.
why some people go crazy and they go reclusive. Maybe they realize what I just realized and they're like, what am I doing here? But
Mhm.
that's why you can shape your life. It's like, dude, it's however life you want,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
literally you're the first person player in my life is literally a video game and you're all just renders.
Mhm.
But for real though, like actually like
Yeah, yeah,
let
yeah,
that
yeah,
sink
yeah,
in. That is crazy to
yeah,
think
yeah,
about.
yeah.
And the insane part is like this was a thought experiment.
Mhm.
The real crazy part is quantum physics is backing what I'm saying. And I'm like, dude, that is nuts. Because like, we're always like, oh, people who talk about quantum physics don't really know about quantum physics. But reading the quantum supremacy book, there are only four properties of quantum physics,
Mhm.
right? And it's like I can't remember the most off the top of my head. Like I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
rough
yeah,
like
yeah.
go look at it. But there's only four properties,
Mhm.
right? And that's what we know so far. And then I was like, well, how do you know they exist? Like those four properties. And then Michio Kaku's like, that's how technology works. We use these four properties in order to make technology work.
Mhm.
So there's a practical application of these theories, meaning that they hold true to some capacity, right? So if that's true, then it's like, this is the only theory that makes sense to me,
Mhm.
just like the alien thing. I was talking to Tara about like ancient alien stuff, and she's like, oh, everything's aliens with you. I'm like, it's the only thing that makes sense. Like, like no other, like, do I believe that Jesus came down to save us for all of our sins? No, that doesn't seem realistic. Like, are we just an evolutionary process of like the universe? Like, yeah, that does make sense, but also like, what are we consciously? Are we consciously like the universe being aware of itself? Like, you know what I mean? Like all
Sure.
like how did the pyramids get here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For these ancient structures, like you know what I mean? Like, oh, they just knew how to do it.
Mhm.
That makes no like Billy Carson made the biggest like um he put forward the best theory I've ever heard, which is like you don't make this one time on belief. You have to have like previous knowledge as you're making things. You don't make an iPhone the first day. You have iterations of the iPhone.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
But
course.
where are the iterations of these giant structures? There
Mhm.
are no iterations. So the only theory is that some foreknowledge was brought from an Anunnaki, somebody from space, down, and then we confused them as being a god because they knew things that we didn't know. You're like, oh, how does that? That's not real. But you're like, dude, show technology to a caveman. They're gonna think we are wizards.
Mhm.
Me and you talking, like, yeah, I was able to talk to this dude in real time,
Yeah.
halfway across the world. You're like, dude, you're a wizard. It's like,
Mhm.
no, it's called Zoom.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like,
Of course, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? And of course, this all makes sense. It Ancient Aliens is the only thing that actually makes sense.
Mhm.
And that made me sound crazy because Ancient Aliens was a crazy show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I believe everything, but like
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anunnaki
So
makes the most
History Channel
sense.
had was doing the right thing there.
They were, bro. They're like they're too woke. That's why they had to make fun of it. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, and any because I know we gotta go, but any thoughts on like what I just spewed on you?
No, that's
Like does
something.
it
Yeah, that
that
makes
makes sense,
sense.
right?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think
It
as
makes
an
sense. The render thing
what
makes
you're yeah, but
sense.
what you're explaining is the observer effect,
That's what I'm saying.
right? You're
Exactly.
using yeah, yeah.
How else do you how remember because we were like, if you listened to our podcast like 2 weeks ago, I think when we talked about it, you and I were both like, it's still a theory. Like,
Mhm.
I'll wait till the like evidence is out because it made no sense to both of us. But then if you put it in this context, it actually does make sense that we're all running our own
Mhm.
version of the universe and it's rendering as we are observing it, just like a video game.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then
And
simulation
like,
theory is very likely.
right? Or what else could it be? Because like that's what they said. Like when you code a video game, the reason why it renders because you can't like load the whole thing at once. It'll break your PS4,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
PS5,
yeah, 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 yeah.
right? You have to like load it as you're interacting with it,
Hmm.
right? So if we are moving more and more towards this like fake reality, who's to say that we aren't doing the exact same thing? How do we know we didn't just render this? If we are literally witnessing rendering properties through quantum physics, rendering is in the observer effect.
Hmm.
An
Yeah.
atom is in two places at once until you observe it.
Hmm.
That sounds so ridiculous. How can it be? It's not logical. How can it be an all position, superposition
Mhm.
until you observe it? And then it becomes one position.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're all running different renders, that actually makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do with this information, Vish? What do you do with it? Leave us with that. What do you do with all of this information? We're in the matrix. We're running a simulation. People are crazy.
Just do stuff that you like,
I know,
that you
right?
find fun.
Bro, because the simulation will end eventually.
Exactly.
Dude, no, but for real though. That's why it's like, that's why I asked you the question because I knew you were gonna say that. But it's like your life is literally a video game, bro.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
you can do is just literally live it as it was meant to be lived.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't freaking trip out about it. You're like, because you go through the negative, you take the red pill, you're like, oh my God, this is real.
Mhm.
And then now it's like, okay, what do you want to do with it? And maybe that's why like the Zen masters and all these like spiritual leaders, they just like did their own thing. If you read any book about this, is why I like Zen, they're like all these Zen masters are just regular people doing random stuff,
Mhm.
but they're considered masters because I think they realize what we realized, which is just like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Right.
just it's just a game, bro. It's not real. What
Mhm.
is money? Like what
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
money?
Yeah.
I don't it's gonna deteriorate as soon as we're dead.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, do you have like 2 minutes?
Sure.
I just want to ask you one last question. Would you consider, all right, so Tara asked me this yesterday and I said something and she's like, oh, don't be annoying. All right. So would you consider yourself religious or spiritual or neither
Religious or spiritual? Neither.
or neither or neither? So no,
Neither.
what are you? Like you're not religious, you're not spiritual, you're neither. What are you? Like
Uh,
you can't say, all right, let's say you can't say neither. Like are you religious or spiritual or what are you? Question mark. Like if you're not religious, spiritual, what are you? You're definitely not materialist because like you're like you believe there's something more than money,
ah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Experiences.
Right. Experiences. So then what is that? So are you religious or spiritual?
I'm a human being.
Ah, that's why we're friends. You know what I said to Tara? I'm self-aware. And she was like, you're so annoying, just pick one. And I'm like, but like I'm connected to the plants and
Because there's
trees.
too much. There's the
Thank
problem
you,
is this.
bro.
There's too
Yeah,
much
this is why we're friends,
connotation and
bro.
meaning of religion or spiritual. I'm gonna make a whole
That's why,
new.
bro. You know what I said? I was like, that's so funny. I was like, well, what's your definition? She's like, I don't know. It's like any definition you want. Like, what do you want? And I'm like, okay,
Well,
so
then
I'm
if it's
self.
my own definition, then
That's what I thank you, bro. You're like, I'm a human being. I'm self-aware. Like you said, my any definition. Like, okay, I'm going with this one. Like, no, it's like one or the other. And like,
but
because
if you're saying one or the other, then you have
bro,
to give me the definition of what you
that's
mean.
what I said too. I was like, well, give me the definition. Like, I don't know what you think it is, but
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah,
you
yeah.
what it is. Thank you. Thank you. I knew, oh, that's so funny, dude. I'm gonna cut this one up. I tag Tara for this one because it's so funny. Like, yeah. But that's what it is. It's like what like who are defining these predefined boxes, bro? What does religious mean? Like if it means like doing a thing routinely over and over in worship of something, then I'm not. If spiritual means that you're like you believe in something more, like I don't know. It's like what do you mean by spiritual, bro? I know what self-aware means.
See, I think yeah, that's like there's like some like this is what I watch with TikTok and lives with like Hindu stuff. I've seen more of that where it's like
Okay.
it's just all those things are available to you. If you are into going to the temple, doing the
Exactly.
pujas or the whatever, yeah, that's you, right? That's for you. But like this person specifically, like, I don't really into that. I'm more into the Jnana yoga, like just
Yeah.
knowledge. Like
Reading
that's
books. Yeah, yeah.
reading books. Like that's my. So like what he's saying is like these are all available within the structure of, or not structure, but within the scope of Hinduism. Because
Right.
Hinduism is not even actual. It's the Western word, right? As
Yes,
well.
yes. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. And if you go to like, if you're like, oh, I go to a temple, oh, so you're religious. Like, no, but I don't believe in the gods. It's like, so what are you? I'm more spiritual. It's like, but you
Hmm.
go to the temple. So it's like, dude,
Yeah.
what is
Wait,
the definition? Just tell me what the definition is, and I'll tell you yes or no.
right.
But like, if you
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
me,
Yeah. But then, but when you say it, yeah, exactly. So when that is basically rendering our meaning to those specific words, right? Each of our understandings.
Exactly. But it sounds annoying
Of
to
course, yeah,
like regular people. But it's like, no, but that's really, but if you really think about it, bro, if you just really think about it,
because it's
this is
I
what
think
it is,
the
though.
problem is putting it into a box. You can't.
That's my point. That was my point. It's like it's a box. It's like, what box do you want to know if I'm in? That's it.
Mm.
Am I part of this box or not? If you're giving me the free reign to make my own box, I'll make my own box, bro.
Yeah,
I don't have to fit your box.
Right,
Like,
right.
because then it's like, oh, he's more spiritual than religious. And then
Right,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, go hang out with those people.
But
I'm
they
like,
have their own
annoying,
definition
bro.
of what that
I
means.
bro. Exactly. You're like, no, I disagree with you, bro. And then they're like, no, but you have to be, but you said you were spiritual. So like, here, put on this mala. And I'm like, oh, that's more of like a religious thing because I don't have to live. And they're
Right,
like,
right,
no,
right.
but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so many containers to that one thing. And this is what people are, just like conglomerates of stories.
Mhm,
It's like, what story do you want to tell yourself? You tell me your story, bro, and I'll tell you if it's my story too.
mhm. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if like energies, because it's weird, like I knew you'd say that, and I was like, oh, that's why we're friends. Because like your response was my response, but in a
Mhm.
different way, but it was the same
Sure.
response.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when we die, or let's say it's like a render, did I just render you into existence of like I needed someone that thought like me too? Or like, or does energy stick together? Like why does this happen?
It
Like
could be. I mean, energy
why does
stick
it attract?
together
I don't know.
if that's the whole reincarnation thing, right? Energy never
Yeah.
dies; it just transforms.
Yeah, and like magnets, it's like
And
certain
magnets,
ones are like
yeah.
stuck together, you know?
Sure,
Like
sure.
when you start thinking of life like that, it's like it becomes even more trippy because you're like, how did I gravitate towards like this and not that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And some of those things are like repelling. Like I hear one thing, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to get repelled by that magnet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Yeah.
Like life is an energy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. But is that spiritual? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I believe in energies. Like you're
Could be.
spiritual,
Some people, that's what that means. Yeah.
right? Or am I self-aware because I'm just aware of this happening,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I'm like, I'm self-aware.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, sorry, went over time. We both gotta go. But until next week, Tatey's Fish.
Peace.
Bye. All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Fish.
Peace.